Yo, welcome back guys. So this is coming off the last video I made, which is how much I made in YouTube 2021, which the card will be up here, you can click on or check it out afterwards. A lot of questions, a lot of people are asking me, what equipment do you use? What equipment can they get to get started on YouTube in 2022? So this is sort of the outline of where I started and what I started to use to where it is now, and the stuff that I can offer to you, what you could buy, or the stuff that I'd say stay away from as a small creator, someone that just does this as a hobby around work. So we'll get started. So back in 2019, I started my channel. My first video went up on the 8th of May, and I used it recording my GoPro Hero 3. So this is a very old GoPro, but this is the GoPro that I had sort of lying around. I was going to try and get into like drone racing, never got around to it. But I bought this off eBay, secondhand, about £100. And for what I used it for to start with, it films in 1080p. It was fine. The problem with all the old sort of GoPros, they don't come with any mounts, so you have to put them in a case. By putting them in a case, the audio and the microphone is sort of covered up, and it's really tinny and not very nice. But it did me to start with, and I said if I do 10 videos and I enjoy it, I will then upgrade. So going from the Hero 3, I jumped across to the GoPro Hero Black, which again, you had to buy a case for to stick it on. The quality was fantastic. The stabilization, this is the thing with any of the cameras I mentioned today, the stabilization in GoPros you cannot beat. It is fantastic. The problem with GoPro stuff is the microphone. They're built for action cameras, which means they have a very tiny little microphone on the side. And it's for vlogging and that sort of stuff, it is a massive pain. It really is. I've really struggled with audio quality over the time. So GoPro then brought out, I think this was for the 8, so this is called a media mod. So the media mod, it opens up, the GoPro slides in, and this then gives you 2 ports on the back. Also an external microphone they've actually put on, but it gives you 2 ports on the back that you can also put in your own external microphone, a lav mic, a wireless mic, or a big Rode mic, which I've got sat on my other camera. This helped the quality massively, and with the good thing with GoPros as well, when you've got it on, let's say a tripod like this, and you are winging it round, the stabilization in it is so good, it just flattens it out, makes it nice and smooth. But if we were to do that with, let's say, the Sony, everyone feels sick. So the cheapest option I would say, if you're gonna get into it, we've all got phones. So we start off at the phone. If you want to do a few videos on YouTube in 2022, and you're like me, and you're an electrician, obviously most of my audience are, and you're starting a YouTube channel, first point I would say is don't do it for the money at all, because if you do it for the money, you do it for the wrong reasons. Do it because you enjoy it, and try and enjoy it. It's a hobby, something that you can get into a little bit, and it may lead on to bigger and greater things. But the best thing about doing vlogging stuff as an electrician's channel is we've got a massive portfolio of work. So I get customers where we say, oh, can you do this, and we can either redirect them to videos we've done, or we rank higher up in Google because of it, because YouTube is owned by Google, so if you're searching for electrician, we do rank higher. And it's just a nice thing that we can show off our work online to people, obviously good and the bad, because we get a lot of criticism as well, which is a lot of learning involved around this as well, because we're not saying we're the best electricians in the world by any means, but by doing this we can expand our knowledge as best as possible, because not only is it just me and Adam and I, we've also got thousands of other electricians giving their opinion and their reasons why this is right, this is wrong, why it's good, why it's bad. So it's a very nice little thing we've got out there, same as Instagram. But we all have mobile phones. I have this is an iPhone 12 Pro Max, so it's got a very good camera on it. The thing I have found while recording on this, when you film on phones, it zooms in quite a lot. So if you're trying to vlog like this, it's actually a lot closer than it seems. But that's the standard, so you won't have to buy anything. We already have phones, and then you can just download it, stick it into editing software, and jobs are good. And nothing I did to start with was any fancy. I never edited video before, it was all new. I wanted to film it on my GoPro because I wanted a wider angle lens to be able to film stuff and put it down on the side, because obviously being a busy man, every time I try and record something on my phone, someone rings me, so it's one of them. But yeah, I would recommend, if anything now you guys want to get into it, I'd recommend a GoPro Hero Black 7. That's the 8, that's the 9. I only have all the different variations. I haven't got a 10 because I wanted a second camera, and I thought, oh, I'll buy the 8. But by buying the 8, they changed the battery size, they then changed the media mod, and the new 8s come with an actual attachment on the bottom, so the lugs come out at the bottom, which means you can put a tripod straight onto it without having to mess it around in a case. But the problem is with the microphones, I always end up putting it in a case, which is the media mod, to get better sound quality. So we're going to the 7, got the 8, to the 9, same with the media mod. Media mods are very expensive, they're about £100 itself to allow you just to plug an external microphone in. So, GoPro for you. And I have found in the past the touchscreen on GoPros are diabolical. So you have to persevere with it, and also they don't like the batteries getting cold. So if you ever get a cold battery, try and warm them up in your pockets for a bit because it just turns off. So going across the different cameras, so because I was so sick of the audio and the batteries and the touchscreen on the GoPros, really sick of it, I then went and got this Sony. So this is the Sony ZV-1. See here? Very cool. I got an additional attachment for a wide angle lens that actually sticks to the very front of the lens, which can go in and out. This has got a framework, it's called Small Rig, so in case I ever drop it, it sort of protects it a bit. But it allows you to record from the tripod itself, to zoom in, to zoom out. And a lot of you guys that have watched the videos with me doing this, if you zoom in and zoom out on video, you can hear it. Not the best. Love the camera, and it's great, and I use this a lot now for my secondary camera because I actually have jumped back to the GoPros just for stabilization, literally solely for stabilization, so I can swing it around a little bit. You don't get the motion blur, you don't feel sick while you're watching it, it's a better it's a better image for the viewer to watch. Fantastic camera. I think this was around about £800–900 with the tripod. The GoPros range around between £300 and £400, but if you're going to start out, Hero 7 Black, you probably pick them up for about £250 now, or just use your phone. Use your phone. And then the camera I'm filming on now for in the unit, so this is the sort of stuff that I set up on a tripod. This is a Canon M50 mirrorless camera. Fantastic camera, expensive. It's an expensive camera, so it does a good job. I've got a wireless, I've got a Rode microphone on the side, so what I'll do is get a bit of footage on this and a little bit of the camera. To top that off with GoPros, so it's all swinging around, it's going to be a GoPro. For the job we do on site, and the only thing I can recommend is you go on Amazon and you get yourself a little pot of aftermarket batteries. These aftermarket batteries, I think they're about 35 quid for 3 batteries, little charging case you can keep around with you, because the GoPro batteries will spend about 30 quid each, I think. And then on Amazon, if you want to buy some kits for it, I think this is about £15. It has tripods, it has attachments, it has cases, it has sticky cups, it has bits that you can attach it to your helmet, of your bike, your van, your bonnet, straps, hooks, you name it, and all that in there. 15–20 quid. I'll put all the links below. In a case, I bought one of these originally for my Hero 3, it's just when I brought the newer cameras they sort of came with the tripods. But yeah, so I'll put all the links below for everything here. Audio equipment, I have the Rode wireless Go mics. I actually have the wireless 2 mics as well, but I don't know where I put them, so it's like 1 receiver and 2 microphones, because this is just 1 receiver and 1 microphone. You can't like pair 2 up to it, it's like one and done. These weren't cheap. I'll put the link on the screen now and the cost. These weren't cheap, but they have made a massive difference in audio quality. I don't really use them on site, if I'm honest, because I'm having to turn them on and off all of the time. Unless we're doing a big talk like this, it wouldn't make any sense. But it's a nice quiet day in the unit. I've put some sound boards up, hence I'm just using the microphone on the camera. But these are fantastic if you want to do walking around shots, or if there's 2 of you, you get the wireless to go mics, which is 2 microphones, 1 receiver into the camera. Very cool piece of kit. Not cheap, but if you're going to get into it more and more, I'd worth investing in one of these. And then the other one is the microphone that's sat on my Canon camera at the moment. It's just a big boom mic sat on top of the camera, which is on a small rig. Moving on to software. So the software I started using originally, because I actually had an old iMac, iMovie wouldn't work on it. You couldn't download it to the newest software, it just would not let me edit stuff. So I downloaded a piece of software called VideoPad. I'll put the link up here, or the logo. It's something I had never used before, I'd never edited a video. So I sort of Googled what the easiest thing to use. I really wanted the bare minimum basics. It was VideoPad, it cost me about £10 for the software online, downloaded it. There's loads of videos online of how to use it. It was the bare, simple, basics software. And I picked up quite quickly from a few YouTube videos that I watched. And then I moved across, I got a new iMac at home, ended up getting one of these as well for sort of in the unit and at work. This is the MacBook Pro M1 chip, I think, 2020. So with iMovie on these is fantastic for anyone that wants to start it off from the bare basics to quite some difficult stuff, I'd say. iMovie is awesome. You can also use it on your phone, you can use it on your iPad, any Apple device really. It is really simple and easy to use, and obviously being Apple, there's thousands of videos out there how to use it, how to mess around with it. I then moved across to DaVinci Resolve because I wanted to put a little bit more effort into editing videos. I wanted to put a few more things in the background, because one thing I can't quite understand, if let's say it's me here now and I put a picture up here, let's say of Dave Savory, and I wanted to then put a picture up of Chris CJR, I couldn't have two pictures up at the same time. It would literally put this one up, and when this one went up, this one went down. So I couldn't do this. DaVinci Resolve, unless there's been an iMovie update since then, but it's been about a year since I've changed over. That's what it is. DaVinci Resolve is a free software. You obviously have to pay to unlock stuff, but for what we do, the bare basics as a free piece of software does everything. It's a bit more complicated than you would say iMovie or VideoPad, but it is a good piece of software. So have a play with that, check some YouTube videos out, sort of how to use it. And the next thing is thumbnails. So with YouTube, thumbnails is a massive, massive key point that you need to get right. If your thumbnail's rubbish, your video will do rubbish. You won't get the views. It's the same as the title, but we'll move on to that in a minute. The software I use is called Canva, which I'll put the logo up here. I use this on my iPad, which is around the corner. You can do it on your computer as well, but I just find it easy with an Apple Pen on my iPad. Canva is literally an app you can download. You can drop and drag. You can do lots of things on it, but I just use it for thumbnails. Size it down. You can create your custom size for your thumbnails, which is 180 by 720, I think, top of my head. I haven't done it for a while. You want to create nice, simple, but vibrant thumbnails with a good title, or you sometimes even no words, but a picture and highlight it. You can change the contrast, you can change the brightness, the saturation, all that sort of stuff on the app itself. Easily export it out to YouTube or save it onto your phone. That's a wicked app, but you can also do animations if you want to put some animations and titles and a bit of B-roll in the background on your videos. You can also do that with unlocking Canva Pro, which you obviously have to then pay for. It's not very expensive, but that is the best app I have found for using thumbnails. And the next thing I can say to you is titles. The title of the video is almost the most important thing you can do to get that video watched. If it's a boring title or a very generic title, let's say electrician vlog day 1, electrician vlog day 2, you do that all the way through. People that search the term electrician's vlog, fantastic. But for the other broad spectrum of people, let's say people want to know how to change a fuse board, or tips and tricks on site, or cutting holes out for downlights, or downlights in general, try and make the title fit what that job is. Obviously we've done clickbait titles before, we've all done it. You've seen the worst job I've ever seen, and a scary like shouting face at the thumbnail. But yeah, just do a little bit of research. Just have a look at what all the other guys have done in the past. Sort of see what your video is about, and then I always sort of create the title at the very end once the video is edited. Or sometimes halfway through a job, let's say something goes wrong, we drill through the wall, I'll go there and then, right, we'll get a picture for the thumbnail, that's our title, and then we'll carry on doing the video around what's just happened. That's sort of what happens for me anyway. Other than that, just be careful. Film what you can film. Don't film everything, like I've said. Don't film a job start to finish, because we're not showing people how to do things. We're just showing snippets in our day in the life of an electrician. That's the only advice I can give. Stay safe out there, and just be careful. And it's just about practice, because the first time I picked a camera up and I looked in the lens and started speaking to myself, it was very weird, it was very awkward, especially when you start doing it in front of customers as well. You get used to it, I promise. You just get natural with it. Just take a few breaths, just talk to the camera like you're talking to your friend, or you're trying to explain what we're doing to the camera as it is a person, as you want them to understand it. So anyway, I hope it's been some help. I'll put all the links for everything here below, and best of luck with it. Any questions, drop it down below and I'll see if I can answer them. Cheers guys.